Well, I wasn't even recording, so got to restart. So I'm gonna talk about insurance today as a detailer, or a mobile detailer in this case, and whether or not it is needed and if it helps in any case. So for me, which towel is my good one? For me, I didn't start out with insurance. So if you're trying to start out your mobile detailing business, there's no need for you to go ahead and get business insurance. You may not have the funds or the budget for it starting out, which is totally fine. That's what I did. So for about half a year when I first started, I did not have insurance. I kind of heard talks about it. I was never too worried or concerned, but during that time when I didn't have it, I maybe lost, nothing crazy, maybe 2 customers that called and reached out and wanted to get something done, but they didn't want to because I wasn't insured, which I understand. Doesn't matter. Everyone else out there typically does not care. It doesn't matter to them. Also, with insurance, it really comes down to the customer. That's more of like a customer thing, but also business-wise, I think it would be smart and safe to eventually have insurance, because you never know when there's going to be mess-ups or accidents, you know. So for me, I have general liability for the business, and I have garage keepers. So I have those 2 things. And so I'm going to talk about the price. I don't want to say pros and cons. I haven't had to file a claim or anything, but just to talk about in general, to hopefully help you get an idea and may help you make a decision for your mobile detailing business. Now, I am not an insurance agent or advisor in any way, so do not take what I say and use it against me. But like I said, I have general liability for the business and garage keepers, and I think I use Liberty Mutual, I believe. And the agent I use is a family friend, so she was pretty thorough and transparent on what's included and what I needed exactly. And based off what that lady said, there's not many insurance companies out there that offer garage keepers insurance, I believe. You can get general liability, I think, anywhere. I think I would definitely recommend using an agent who you can physically talk to, and they can actually break down and get you what you exactly need, rather than doing it yourself and trying to do it all online, all that kind of stuff, because you may screw yourself over in the long run. So I would definitely recommend using a agent. And I think I pay roughly 45 or 50 bucks for each. So general liabilities, I think 50 bucks. The garage keepers, I think 50 bucks. And so 100 bucks a month covers me insurance wise for my business. And I would recommend, I guess, those 2 types of insurance, general liability and garage keepers. So garage keepers is basically you're insured whenever a vehicle's in your possession. So in this case, I'm working on a vehicle here today. I'm mobile, so I go to their house, and my garage keepers insurance states that wherever I'm at and whenever the vehicle's in my possession, if I were to accidentally or intentionally damage the customer's vehicle, that I am insured in that scenario. And I also think there's different budgets on what you want to be insured when it comes to I don't know what the term is, but it could be like 100,000, a million of your coverage or loss, whatever the term is. I think mine's 100,000. I'm not too sure. I forgot whenever I did it. So there's different limits or whatever, price range, so that's something you can also talk about and figure out what you want for yours. You know, if you're a luxury detailer, you know, you maybe want to have a higher one, maybe closer to $500,000 or $1 million. If you're kind of in the mix of doing regular cars and maybe some high-end ones here and there, you may not need that high cost one. But basically, whenever you're in the possession of a vehicle, any damage done to it intentionally or unintentionally should be covered in that sense. Hopefully I never have to use that or file a claim, but also too, after having it and I put it on my website, I think it just adds a little more credibility to your business. And like I said, not that every customer cares that you have it, but whenever I bring it up or they see that, that's kind of what sets me apart as well from other businesses in my area that do the same thing. That just gives the customer reassurance that, hey, this guy that's coming out to clean, he has insurance, so I don't have to sit there and worry about getting my car damaged and not getting paid for it. So every customer is different. Some people don't care. Some customers are a little more picky about what goes on if there's one little scratch or whatever, so that helps in that case. Now, my general liability insurance, I think, from my little knowledge, I think my general liability basically covers that. I think it covers me in any accidents on the road, or if I trip and fall and break a bone or something. But I think it also covers, let's say, the customer or just a random neighbor that's walking by and decides to walk across all my equipment and they get hurt in any way. I think that covers the loss on that. So that's the general liability aspect. That's more for the business rather than like a customer's vehicle. So I have those two things. Now I would say that, one, do you need it? No, you do not need insurance. Would it be beneficial to have it? I would say yes, it would be beneficial to have insurance and to be covered, in the sense of that you never know what's going to happen. You never know accidents or what can happen, or maybe you're just lacking and don't notice something and you do mess up a customer's vehicle. Whether you can fix it with like paint correction or whatever, but worst case you can't, you know, you're insured and you have the money to do so. So I think if you're wanting to take your business serious and to the next level, that insurance would definitely be worth it. And those are my two, or that is my opinion on having business insurance as a mobile detailer. And I would say that it's been worth it for me. Not that I've had to use it yet, but when it comes to setting myself apart from the competition and customers taking me a little more serious, I think it helps a lot. I'm not, I'll use the term, your friendly neighborhood detailer. I'm not doing this on the weekends. It's not a side gig or a side hustle. No hate to those that do. I respect the hustle. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I am fortunate enough to do this full time, and so that also too sets me apart. But all in all, having insurance, I think, is a yes, and I think it will definitely improve the value of your business and your professionalism, and customers like it. And ever since I got it, customers respect, and they're like, all right, he's legit. And also too, for example too, yesterday I was cleaning a vehicle and their neighbor came up and asked about doing some paint correction on a Corvette. It's a family car, so it means a lot to him. I'm not going to get into the personal details, but it's a nice, expensive car that means more than what it's worth. And he was asking about paint correction and all that kind of stuff to take care of it for him. And that's where insurance came into play, because he was actually scouting my website and noticed that I wasn't sure. Not that he brought it up, but I chose to bring it up and say, also too, I don't know how much you've looked into a website or whatever, but I am insured, so I don't know if that's something that you were looking for or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, I definitely saw that, and that's why I'd like to use you. So like I said, every customer is different. Every customer has their personal view and opinion on how they care for their vehicles and who they want caring for their vehicles. So in that sense, so you just never know who you're gonna run into when it comes to that. So if you can fit it in your budget, I would definitely do it. I definitely recommend it. And it's gonna probably be different for everyone depending on what state you live in, what the cost is and all that kind of stuff, and what exactly you want for your insurance plan. But that's what I have to say about getting insurance as a mobile detailer, and hopefully that helps you in your business when deciding if or when you want to do that. Other than that, that's it.